So what I brought out, this is my concert ticket photo album. So what I do, and I think everybody should do this. If you're an avid concert goer, even if you're not, freaking buy one of these little photo albums or a big one, and you put all your concert tickets in there. I got all my pics that I've gotten, all my concert tickets. I think it's a really... I do not have every single one in here, which is unfortunate. I have lost some over the years, but not very many. Most of them are in here, and there is a lot. Also, really unfortunate, and it really bugs me, there is a couple in here that I don't have because I had to buy them online. So you don't get a ticket stub for that, even though they still sell ticket stubs, but I bought them online, so I didn't get one. I'm really upset about it. So there are a few in here that I don't have. But here's what I want to do. I'm going to pick a random page in here, pick out a concert, one of the concerts at random, because they're not in order. I've just put them in here. Like the ones toward the end are more in order, but like all the ones in the beginning, when I just had my stack of ticket stubs, I just kind of put them in randomly. So I'm gonna say a page number. I'll flip to that page, pick one of the two tickets that's on the page, and then I'm going to tell you a story from that concert, because every concert has a story. Whether it's boring, I might not have the most interesting story on each one, but let me tell you, there's probably a lot of really interesting stories in this book. So let's get at it. We'll start with number 6, page 6. Okay, page 6. Oh, okay, first of all, I do want to let you know, I did not look through this beforehand. I would have never, even if I did, I would have never remembered what page numbers would have been where. But I couldn't have picked a better one on that first one. Drowning Pool. Do I have a story for you here? Okay, so I went to Drowning Pool. I don't remember who opened for them at all. But I do remember Drowning Pool. And, here's my story from the Drowning Pool concert. Made it all the way through the show. It was me, my buddy Eric, and my buddy Kyle. We were all real close high school friends. Still are good friends. We all go to this concert together. We're all hanging out. And our friend Kyle is kind of getting in and out of the mosh pits. He's not made for mosh pits. He's a bigger dude, but kind of bigger this way than he is this way. So, but he went to quite a few pits, made it out alive, and then the headline act, the finale. If you don't, everyone knows this song, Bodies, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. They hit that shit. No joke, the biggest mosh pit I've ever seen breaks out. From wall to wall, front to back, the entire floor is moshing. Whether it's little moshes here, it was like the whole floor. And you couldn't not, unless you were like standing on the edges or way in the back, you were in this mosh pit. And it was kind of scary. Like, I'm not a mosh pit guy. I've done plenty of them, but I don't necessarily love them. So I'm watching my back. I'm trying to enjoy the song, but I'm like, dude, this is Bodies. You gotta mosh to this song. And so we're moshing around doing this. I lost track of everybody. And I'm like, okay, made it past the first chorus. I'm gonna shoot myself up front. I got like 2 rows from the front, and I'm like, I'm gonna just chill and watch the rest of this song. Because it was the last song, it's their headline song. And I'm standing there just watching the show. And all of a sudden I hear, hey! Hey! And I'm like, what the hell? I turn around. On the ground is my buddy Eric, like, okay, my friend Kyle is like knocked out cold on the ground. And he's like, my friend Eric's trying to pick him up. And he goes, hey! Help me pick this fucker up! And I'm like, oh shit, okay. So we get down, we lift him up. It was pretty cool. Like 3 or 4 dudes totally made like a human barrier around us so that we were able to pick him up without getting trampled over. So we pick our buddy up, We take him over by the merch. I'm pissed. I'm like, dude, are you serious? Your dumbass got knocked out in this pit, and I gotta miss the rest of the song because of it. Well, turns out it ended up being the best thing to happen to us, because not only did it make for a good story, but we're sitting over there by the merch table, and we just wait for everybody to clear out, right? And just because he's sitting on a chair and just getting his wits back. And so we're just kind of chilling. All of a sudden, guitar player CJ Pierce from Drowning Pool comes up to the merch booth to talk to his guys. Boom. Autograph. Got CJ Pierce's autograph right there on the ticket. So that ended up making for a pretty cool story, and ended up getting the... Oh, and my buddy Eric was a huge fan of CJ Pierce at the time, so it was awesome for everybody. Ended up being really, really cool. Let's see what else. Let's go. Okay, we're on page 6. Let's go page 10. All right. We got... When was that one? Static X. I'll do Static X because there's been some good Static X shows. Which one was this? Skipping it. Sorry. I can't think of anything from that show. I've seen them 3 times. I can't remember which show it was, so I wouldn't be able to give you an accurate story. So we'll go 1... Okay, let me just pick another number. Let's go with 13. Unlucky number 13. 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm actually going to do both of them on this one. So, Mushroomhead. The first time I ever saw Mushroomhead, awesome. If you don't know who Mushroomhead is, they're kind of like Slipknot. They wear the masks and do all that. And I've seen them 3 times. This was the first time I ever saw them. One of the best performances I've ever seen. It was at the Pub Station, which is a smaller venue. They were in the smaller room. And it was packed, like shoulder to shoulder. I sold out. It was a sold out show in the small venue, or in the small room. And put on such a good show. They have two other drummers. They have like 2 just like kettle drums or whatever. But they have water that shoots out on them, and they drum on them, and the water splashes up, and there's lights that go on them. Pretty cool. It's just a good show. The one of the drummers jumped up and was like crowd surfing, but standing on the crowd. Everyone's like holding him up by his feet. He's trying to like reach for the ceiling fans and stuff. It was pretty sweet. Also, the last time like the best lineup of Mushroomhead was together, because Waylon was one of the singers, and he left shortly after that, which is awesome because I got his autograph too. Yeah. That was pretty badass. I also, on the next time I saw Mushroomhead, got the autograph of one of their drummers, or it was might be their synth guy. I got another autograph from Mushroomhead, which was really cool on the album. And then also on this page, I got one In This Moment. I've seen In This Moment a ton of times. This was the first time I ever saw In This Moment headlining, and my first concert I ever went to with my mom, which was really cool. I've been to shows with a lot of people. I had never been to a show with my mom. My mom really likes In This Moment. And so that was really cool that I got to go see that with her. Let's see. I'm not going to pick a number. I'm just going to flip to a random one. Because I've lost track of the numbers. Let's go. Okay. I looked down at that, and we're going to stop on that one. And I'm going to do both of them from this one, too. Probably number 1 concert, if I had to pick one to go back to. My all-time favorite band, Disturbed, at Red Rocks in Denver. I really have no words for that show. One of the all-time, just if you've never been to Red Rocks, you have to go. It is so amazing. Like, that's all I ever heard about Red Rocks was how amazing it was and how awesome it was. And let me tell you, man, nobody can describe it. You have to be there to experience it. It's so beautiful. You can see the city skyline way out on the horizon. the rocks, and the sound quality is so beautiful. It is seriously so amazing. One of the best lineups I've ever seen. So, opens up with Saint Asonia, which is a super group comprised of Adam Gontier from 3 Days Grace. It's got the guitar player from Stain, the drummer from Finger 11. Can't remember who the bass player is from, but was an awesome show. They ended up playing two 3 Days Grace songs, one of them being Just Like You, which is my all-time favorite 3 Days Grace song. Never got to see 3 Days Grace with Adam Gontier. Well, I've never seen 3 Days Grace ever, but I got to see Adam Gontier sing my favorite 3 Days Grace song, which was awesome. Next up on that lineup was Alter Bridge, one of my all-time favorite bands. My first time seeing Alter Bridge. Miles Kennedy is one of the best vocalists in metal today. Absolutely love Miles Kennedy. Got to see him live. Was beautiful. Their equipment didn't work to start, so they had to, there were some technical difficulties. Had to go off stage, come back, put on a hell of a show. Was so awesome. Then it was Breaking Ben. I think that was definitely the first time I've seen Breaking Ben, and I wasn't a huge Breaking Ben fan, still not a huge Breaking Ben fan, but they won me over that night. They put on a good show. I've seen them 2 times since, so that was really cool to see them. And then Disturbed, my all-time favorite band. If there was anything I would have changed there's 2 things I would have changed about that show. It would have been that I would have sat closer. We had to sit up high quite a bit. We were kind of in the middle. Not the best visual as far as the bands go. Still so awesome to be there. I was with a lot of my best friends, so that was really cool. But I would have changed. I would have gotten closer. That would have been one of the things I would have changed. The number one thing I would have changed, and this is something I will regret till the day I die, is that. And I get really upset at myself just even thinking about it. Did not invite my uncle to come to that. And he passed away, and I'll never get that opportunity again. And Disturbed is a band that we both shared very closely. He's the one who introduced me to Disturbed and to music in general. And I should have invited him. I can't even make an excuse as to why I didn't. We were going with friends, and I think I just wanted it to be a friends trip, and that was very selfish of me, and I'll never let myself live that down. Should have invited him. It should have been me and him there. We would have had so fun. I had no idea that he had never even been to Red Rocks, and that makes me so sick to my stomach, knowing that he died not getting to go to Red Rocks, and that I could have shared that with him. So that would have been my number one thing I would have changed about that concert, and I really, that's one of my all-time regrets, is not doing that. So, but it was a great show, and it just so happened that they recorded that show and made an album about it. It's Disturbed Live at Red Rocks. I was there. Oh, I think that must have been the first time Disturbed ever played Red Rocks, so I got to be there for that, and they made an album about it. So that was very awesome that I got to be a part of that. And then since I've already done 3, I'll do one more, which is the one below this ticket, and that is Ghost. The first time I ever got to see Ghost. First and only time I've seen Ghost, actually. This was in Missoula at the Wilma. Beautiful venue. If you've never been there, check it out. Also, their amphitheater there, awesome. Also, we might be getting an amphitheater here if we ever get to have live shows again. But Ghost. Okay, so we saw Ghost at the Wilma. Awesome show. Did great. I was there with my buddy Kyle, who lives there now. I think it was the first time I'd seen him since he moved there. When was this? This was back in 2016. So almost, it's a little less than 4 years ago that this happened. Great show. They put on. I wasn't even a huge fan of Ghost at the time. They made me a fan because they put on a hell of a show. They sounded awesome. If you don't know who Ghost is, they all wear masks and they don't have names. Their identities are a mystery. Not anymore. The singer did have to come out and reveal his identity, but at the time, nobody knew who they were. Nobody knew their names. So, which is important to the story. So after the concert, we went to a bar real close to there. It's probably my favorite bar in Missoula. I think it's called the Rhino or the Blind Rhino. Or I think it's the Rhino. It's just the Rhino. And so we went there, and we're just hanging out, having some drinks. That's kind of our go-to place after the Wilma. I've been to a couple shows there, but we always go to the Rhino afterwards. Actually, also, the Rhino, the place where I had my first beer ever. My first ever alcoholic drink was at the Rhino. Little factoid for ya. But we're at the Rhino. We're sitting at the bar. We're talking about the show. We're talking to the bartender about it. We're like, he's like, well, who was the band that was playing tonight? We're like, oh, Ghost. They're a band from Sweden. Blah, 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 blah. Keep talking about it. Well, this group comes in. They all look like band people or stagehands or whatever. They're definitely in or with the band. And this guy sits kind of next to us. We start bullshitting with him. Turns out he's the drum tech for Ghost. And he's telling us all these stories about who he's teched for, who he's traveled with. And the singer the bartender comes up to me and he said, "Hey, where'd you say that band was from?" And I'm like, Sweden. He goes, "Oh, okay. Well, all these dudes down here have Swedish IDs." So we're like, "Oh, that's Ghost." Don't know who they are. Like, we don't know them by face because, like I said, they wear masks. We don't know their names or anything like that. So I asked the tech. I was like, "So hey, which one of these guys are in the band? Because we know that some of them are." And he's like, "Well, I actually can't tell you that because that's how serious they are about keeping their identities secret. They can't tell you who is in the band." And so I'm like, "All right, then I'll go meet all of them, and I'll know that I met some of them." So I walked up to each and every one of them. All I said was, "Hey, I don't know if you're in the band or not, but that was a great show. Really enjoyed it. Thank you for whatever you did to contribute to that show." And obviously they have Swedish accents, so I know I met several members of the band. Also, definitely know I met the singer because, like I said, he had to come out and reveal his identity and his name due to legal stuff. And I remember his face. 100% shook the hand of Tobias Forge from Ghost. Awesome story. Loved that. That was a good time. Also, I'm not gonna pull it out, but the drum tech gave us both, me and my buddy, a pick from Ghost, which was so cool. So it's in my pick collection here. And yeah, that was one of the coolest things that happened at that show. Well, it was one of the coolest things that's happened at any show. So yeah, I think I'll stop on that. I kind of talked your ear off quite a bit about concert stories. I got so many in here. I think we're gonna end up doing this again. I thought that was kind of fun to go through and relive some stories, especially ones that I wasn't prepared to tell because it's all random. So I think that's something.